Today we are building a browser-based operating system using ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini as coding agents. And by the end of this video, I should hopefully have a fully functional web OS that I can actually use inside the browser. Maybe not enough to replace Windows yet, but hopefully enough to make me stop opening normal apps. So without further ado, make sure to subscribe to the channel and let's begin. Before we start coding, we first need to figure out what this operating system should actually look like. Because I don't just want some random HTML dashboard and call it an OS. I want this thing to actually feel real. I'm talking draggable windows, a taskbar, a file explorer, settings app, terminal, browser, and maybe even an AI assistant built directly into the system. Now, instead of using one AI model, I'm forcing multiple AI models to work together. ChatGPT is going to focus on the UI. Claude will help with architecture and cleaner code, while Gemini is mostly going to help debug everything when things inevitably break. So here's the plan. We need three main parts. First, the desktop environment itself. Second, a window management system so we can drag, resize, and minimize apps like a real OS. And third, we need actual applications. Because without apps, this thing is basically just an animated wallpaper. And here's the mock-up Claude generated for me. Honestly, this actually looks insane. We have a dock at the bottom, floating windows, widgets, and even a terminal. It literally looks like some futuristic Linux distro mixed with macOS and Windows 11. Anyway, enough talking. Let's copy the prompt, paste it into Cursor, and let the AI agents cook. Okay, so the first version is done, and wow. Technically, it works, but this does not look like an operating system. This literally looks like a Bootstrap admin dashboard. The windows are broken, the layout is flat, and half the apps are spawning outside the screen. But surprisingly, the taskbar works. We can open apps, the settings panel works, and the terminal actually opens. So we're not completely cooked yet. The most frustrating part about AI coding is that the AI acts like everything is fine, even when the UI is literally collapsing in front of your eyes. Like, bro, are we looking at the same app right now? Anyway, I'm going to feed Claude the mock-up image and ask it to redesign the interface. Because right now, this is not giving futuristic operating system vibes at all. Okay, wait, this is much better. Yo, this actually feels like an OS now. We have blur effects, custom icons, draggable windows, smooth animations, and even a dock. Bro, this looks sick. Okay, let me test the apps. File Explorer works. Browser app opens. Settings app works too. Oh, and look at this. The terminal even has streaming text. That's so cool. But of course, there's still a problem, because there's always a problem. Look at this browser window. Why are you stretching infinitely? Stop growing, bro. I swear, fixing AI-generated UI bugs feels like babysitting toddlers. Anyway, let's lock the window sizes before this thing becomes self-aware. Okay, nice. Much better. Now, I really want window snapping, because if we're making an operating system, then we need at least some real desktop functionality. So I'm going to ask Gemini to implement snapping and resizing. Okay, hold on. No way. It actually worked. The windows snap correctly now, and resizing feels smooth. This genuinely feels like a real desktop environment. Now, obviously, this isn't a real operating system. We don't have kernel-level stuff or memory management. But visually, this is honestly convincing enough that someone might think it's real. Now for the final test. Can this operating system improve itself? I'm going to open the project folder inside the operating system and ask the built-in AI assistant to modify its own code. If this works, I might actually lose my mind. Okay, it failed immediately. Looks like the AI still can't fully search through the project automatically. It basically needs me to manually open files first, otherwise it gets lost. So yeah, we are definitely not replacing Windows anytime soon. But honestly, the fact that this even works at all is insane. A few hours ago, this was literally just a blank project folder. And now we have a functional browser-based operating system with draggable apps, AI integration, a terminal, and desktop management built almost entirely using AI agents. That is wild. Anyway, if you guys want to see me continue improving this operating system, maybe adding multiplayer, voice control, or turning this into a full development environment, make sure to subscribe to the channel and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!